All right, guys, today what we're going to be looking at is the axle peg, part 6 of the train. So it's basically this right here, which is very similar to the hitch peg that we've done, only it has threads on it and it has a flat surface with a hex section in the middle. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is go over here and we're going to do a new part. And here we go. What we're going to do, I'm going to try to do the exact same way I did it before with the hitch peg, where we're going to do this kind of shape right here. That way we can revolve around the center. Same idea. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start a new sketch. I'll start on my XY plane. And again, I'm going to draw a rough sketch of what it looks like. And from here, I know that we're going to go out. So it comes up here and then it kind of flares out with a flat before the arc. So I'm going to go out, then a little bit up, and then we'll have that arc. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and finish this other part up here. Okay. Cancel that, move up. And then we're going to have an arc. I'm not going to cut it off just yet. So we got some kind of arc. We don't know what all those dimensions are yet. We're going to figure them out. Okay, so the first thing we need to look at is that this is a 1/4 inch thread pattern. So if it's a 1/4 inch thread pattern, or a 1/4 inch thread, that means that this particular bolt or whatever, the diameter across that center is going to be 1/4. So the distance from here to here is going to end up being half of that because it's the radius. So it's going to be 0.25, which is 1/4 divided by 2. All right. Then we need to figure out how far it goes up. So if you see right here, it says by 1, so that means it's a 1 inch long screw. So this dimension right here should be 1. Okay, yeah, it looks a little weird right now, but it'll get fixed in a second. And then we're looking at the line that comes out this way. All right, and that has a diameter of 0.422, so that would end up being 0.422 divided by 2, because we're doing the radius. Okay, and then it comes up a little bit, and that dimension looks like it is 0.031. 0.031. So this one, this line, actually, see how we're going to get it to do that. So negative 0.031, is that what it was? Yeah. So I'm going to try putting in a negative and see if it goes up. It didn't. It went down. So we're going to have to move this line to where it goes above it instead of below it. So let's first try and change this to a positive. Okay, and that didn't fix it either. So what we're actually going to end up having to do is redrawing that line. So I'm going to go and take that and see if I can get it to remove it. Let's see if we can remove it. Maybe not. All right, I'm going to remove that dimension for a second. We'll go back in here and dimension it again right here. All right, and then we're going to draw a line straight up from here. And this one will dimension 0.031. Okay, so that's how big that is. You can see our arc is way off now, right? So we're going to have to fix that. So now what we're looking at is we need to actually go and make that arc. And the arc is right here. The spherical radius is 0.236. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to remove this arc for now. And I think I'm going to extend that one. I'm going to have to extend that line up. So think what I'm going to do is take this one as well and delete it, and then I'm going to draw a really long line from here up. Okay, then I can take an arc, go from here to over here, and I can dimension that arc to the correct spherical radius, which is 0.236. 0.236. Okay. Spherical radius of 0.236, and then to figure out where this cutoff is. So that cutoff is basically it's going to tell us that it is 0.125 from the bottom of this line right here. So from here up is going to be 0.125. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line that just kind of comes across, and we're going to dimension the distance between that line and this line, and it's going to be 0.125. All right. Okay. And then the diameter of the flat here is 0.25. I think there might be something wrong with this particular arc right there, because I don't think that's correct. But we do know that the diameter of that flat is 0.25, and so we can dimension, or we can draw a line, however you want to look at that. You can dimension that line to half of that. So if it's 0.25, we can do 0.25 divided by 2. All right, and so that's where our arc should land. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again to there, and then we'll dimension that. Okay, to 0.236. There you go, like that. So that looks a little better. And then I think we're done actually, because that was the flat. So, and that went out 0.125. Yep, that looks it. All right, so we're going to stop that. We're going to revolve it. And we're going to revolve around that center. So this is what it's going to look like. Hit OK. Now we're not done, because we still have to do this hex pattern on the top here. So I'm going to right click right here on the flat part and do a new sketch on that. All right, over here in the rectangle section, we can hit the drop down, and it allows us to pick any different type of shape. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the polygon down here, and I should have 6 sides if I count that. So I'm going to pick 6 sides right here, and then I'm going to hit done. Then I'm going to draw from the center out. And I'm just going to try to keep it inside that flat right now, make it straight. All right, so from here, to make sure that we have the right size, it says that it is 5/32 across the flats. So from flat to flat, it needs to be 5/32. Okay? And then finish that, and now we're going to extrude it into the top of the head of the screw, which is 0.111 deep. So extrude this, we're going to go back that way, and 0.111, and then hit OK. All right, and so there is our screw. We need to put threads on it right here, so that's the next step. So down here, we're looking at what it says is the thread should be a 1/4-20 UNC with a 1/4 inch offset. So basically, we're going to come down a fourth, and then we're going to draw our screws or our threads. So we're going to click our thread, select our surface. All right, and you need to make sure that you can see it. Okay. All right, so then should make sure that this is the correct amount here, and then we should be able to change how far in we want to go. So we're going to go 0.75 because we're taking off a quarter, because we're taking off a fourth of an offset, right? So we're only going to go down, we're going to go down and only do 0.75. All right, and then hit OK, and there's our threads. And so there's our screw. The last thing we need to do, it looks like they want us to do a chamfer down here at the bottom at 45 degrees by 0.03. So we're going to use the chamfer tool, and we're going to select our circle here and then change our distance to 0.03. Okay, and it just kind of gives it a little lip so it'll sit in there correctly. All right, and that should be it. We are done with this part. So we're going to go save, and it's going to be called train axle peg. And we hit save. All right, that's it. Thanks, y'all.